We are continuing March Madness today with the Sweet 16. Here are my Sweet 16 predictions. I think today this is going to be a start to, a very, very unpredictable Sweet 16. There's a lot of teams who I think, could either win or go home today or today and Friday, but we'll have to wait and see. But starting off my prediction, we'll start from the East, go all the way down to the South, starting with Duke versus Arizona. I have not loved Arizona even coming into March Madness, into the tournament. I've loved Duke. I think Duke are obviously one of the better teams in the, if not the best team in the country right now. Cooper Flag, I think they have some role players who are very, very good, who could start elsewhere and be not role players. Proctor, in my opinion, has been phenomenal for this team, and he's been the underlining veteran guy that they need. You have teams like based off that, Arizona, last time Caleb Love met Arizona was with UNC. They beat them. I personally don't think that'll happen. I'm going to take Duke to win that game. Going over to Alabama versus BYU. This game, BYU has been electric when it comes for shooting the ball. They've been shooting lights out. Alabama has been consistently better. First round, they struggled a little bit. Second round, they really brought it back up. I think they ended up winning by 16 points or something like that. So this is a hard one for me to predict, man, because I think, BYU wants to shoot the ball well, and they can't shoot the ball well. And I'm not going to call the upset. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to take Alabama to win that game as well. Going to the West, Florida, Maryland. Maryland obviously probably shouldn't have been here after the travel, but regardless, they made it. I think Florida needs to be, they dominated against everyone except UConn coming into last game. UConn played a really tight game, but I think Florida definitely deserves to win that game regardless of what anybody else has to say. I'm going to take Florida again to beat Maryland. I think Maryland are a good team, but they're not good enough to beat Florida. You got Texas Tech versus Arkansas. Here's my upset. I'm going to take Arkansas to win. I think Coach Cal and those boys know exactly what they need to do and how to do it to get to the promised land, and I'm going to take Arkansas to win that game. Then we got Houston versus Purdue. Purdue, I've watched a lot of Purdue this season. They've gotten a lot of calls in this tournament. The refs, it looks like they're leaning more to the Purdue side of things. But regardless, I'm going to take Houston anyway to win that game. You got Kentucky versus Tennessee. I love Tennessee a lot. I love what that team is about right now. I love the core foundation of that team. I'm definitely going to take Tennessee to win that game. But I definitely think Kentucky will have a say before that ends up happening. I think that game will not be a far game. I think that game's going to probably end up being a 2 to 3 point game. Next up, you have Auburn versus Michigan. Michigan, those two 7-footers there. I don't think they are good enough, or not good enough. I don't think they have enough to win this game, and I think Auburn is one of the best teams in the country. They're going to win that game handily by 7 points, I think. And then Michigan versus Ole Miss. I'm going to take Michigan State to win that game. I like Ole Miss a lot. I think they have been with the dark horse of the college March Madness this year, but they're going to have to get through a very good Michigan team. And Michigan, they dipped a little bit last week, towards the end of last week. So how will they look going into this week? They've had time to prep. They've had time to figure out what was the issue last week. And so hopefully Michigan State can pull it off. But Ole Miss definitely has a shot to win that game. But let me know what y'all think down below in the comments about this Week 16.